When I bought the beach house, it wasn't about status or showing off. It was about finding peace. After years of grinding as a civil engineer and scrimping every spare penny, I finally treated myself to a small slice of oceanfront serenity. The gentle crash of the waves each morning became my therapy, a daily reminder that hard work could create something genuinely beautiful. My family adored the place, especially my younger sister, Mia. She used to come by all the time, always saying that the ocean helped clear her head. But after she married Derek, her visits became rare, and when she did come, there was always this underlying tension. Derek had a massive personality. By that, I mean he had a need to dominate every space he entered. He'd brag endlessly about his startup, his car, and his successes, though no one could ever quite figure out what he actually did for a living. Still, for Mia's sake, I kept my composure. I loved my sister, and if putting up with her arrogant husband made her happy, I was willing to do it. Last summer, they called asking if they could spend a weekend at the beach house. Of course, I said immediately, even stocking the kitchen with their favorite snacks and grabbing extra beach towels. When they arrived, Mia hugged me warmly, but Derek barely looked up from his phone. "Nice place," he muttered, scanning the room like he was critiquing a hotel. I shrugged it off and let them get settled. That evening, we had dinner on the patio overlooking the water. Everything was peaceful, until Derek started commenting on how underutilized my property was. "You could rent this out and make a fortune," he said between sips of his drink. "You're wasting potential just sitting here." I smiled lightly. "It's not about money for me, Derek. I come here to unwind." He smirked. "Relaxation's overrated when you could be earning." Mia shot him a warning glance, but he kept pressing. If this were my place, I'd have a business running here already. The mood soured quickly, so I excused myself to clean up, but the next morning was worse. I woke early for a beach walk, and when I returned, Derek was standing at the front door, arms crossed. "Oh, you're back," he said flatly. "Listen, we're having some friends over later, old college buddies. It'll be private, so maybe you can head out for a while." I blinked. "Head out? Derek, this is my house." He scoffed. "Yeah, but Mia and I are staying here, and it'd be awkward with you around. You get me, right?" Before I could respond, Mia appeared, looking uneasy. "Derek, stop," she said softly. He snapped at her. "I'm just making sure everyone's comfortable." Then, turning back to me, he said, "Seriously, man, take a hint. Go grab a hotel for the night." Heat surged in my chest. My own brother-in-law, standing in the doorway of the home I built with my own hands, was ordering me out. I didn't yell. I didn't argue. I just nodded slowly. "All right, Derek, have it your way." I grabbed my keys, got in my truck, and drove off. But I wasn't headed to a hotel. I went straight to town and made a few calls. What Derek didn't know was that the beach house's security system linked to my phone. So when his college buddy showed up, I could see everything. The noise, the drinking, the mess. By evening, I had alerted the local police and a friend from the homeowners association. Around 9 p.m., I quietly pulled up near the property. Outside, loud music thumped and laughter spilled into the night. Within 10 minutes, flashing blue lights lit the driveway. Police, responding to my noise complaint and trespassing report, moved in to shut the party down. I stayed back in the shadows, watching as Derek argued. "You can't do this. My brother-in-law owns this place," he shouted. One of the officers, who knew me personally, responded calmly. "Yes, sir, but you are not him. You're on private property without permission." The guests scattered like startled birds, and Derek's bravado evaporated. He tried calling me 3 times, but I ignored it. Finally, I drove up as the last car pulled away. The expression on his face was priceless. "What the hell, man?" he barked, voice trembling with frustration. "You called the cops on me?" I stepped out slowly. "No," I said evenly. "I called the cops on strangers trashing my property. You just happen to be one of them." He clenched his fists. "You humiliated me." "No," I said, meeting his eyes. "You did that yourself when you told the owner to leave his own home." Mia stood behind him, tears in her eyes. "I told him not to do this," she whispered. I gave her a small, reassuring nod. I know, Mia. You're always welcome here. He isn't. Then I turned to Derek. Pack your things. You're leaving tonight. He tried to protest, but one of the officers nearby raised an eyebrow, and that was enough. Within an hour, they were gone, headlights disappearing into the night. I stood on the porch afterward, listening to the waves, feeling the calm return. The next morning, Mia texted me an apology. She said she'd be staying with friends for a while, and that Derek had been furious all night. I replied simply, "You're always my sister, and this house will always be your safe place." He crossed a line that doesn't get erased. 2 months later, I heard they were separated. Apparently, Derek's alpha behavior had been a pattern, one Mia had grown tired of defending. She later told me that night at the beach house opened her eyes. Sometimes respect has to be earned, and sometimes it has to be taught. That night, I didn't raise my voice. I didn't throw a punch. I simply reminded Derek, in the calmest way possible, that arrogance has consequences. You don't tell a man to leave his own home, not unless you're ready for the tide to turn against you.